Most of us are probably familiar with the terms old money and new money when talking about wealth. The discussion about these two terms has been around for a long time, since people started living together in society. Recently, there has been an increased focus on the topic when we delve into discussions about money and the economy. Money and being rich are complex ideas. Understanding the intricacies of finance enables you to more effectively strategize and oversee your finances. So let's answer a common question. How are old money and new money different? But first, let's find out what these words actually mean. How are old money and new money different? You might have heard the term old money rich, but its meaning might not be obvious. In simple words, old money refers to wealth that has been created, maintained, and passed down within families over many generations. This phrase is also used to talk about these families and the individual members of their line. But old money rules aren't just about money. They depend on other things as well, not just finances. The classification of whether someone belongs to old money or not varies based on historical context and sometimes even on geographical location. For example, in today's world, old European money families are often made up of nobles, kings, queens, and aristocrats who have collected wealth and titles over time. The British royal family is the most famous example, along with the Heineken family. However, things change a lot when you go to America. Families there that are thought of as old money would be relatively young compared to European standards. This makes sense because Europe's royal families have been around a lot longer than the United States has. The Rockefellers are a well-known example of old American money. They became extremely wealthy from their oil ventures that started in the 19th century. The Vanderbilts, for example, gained and then lost a lot of money from their 19th century railroad business. Interestingly, there's some level of irony in what many people refer to as old money. That's because old money today was new money back in the day. Many old money rich families you see today are actually descendants of individuals from the 19th century who were in industries like manufacturing, construction, and banking. To put it simply, the wealthy old money families of today were born into a lot of money. This means they haven't experienced what it's like to live without their existing wealth. So what is new money versus old money? If you consider old money as generational wealth passed down, then new money refers to the wealth that has been acquired by or in the first generation. Think about most of the famous people from the internet, pop culture stars, modern successful business owners, football and basketball players, and similar rich individuals who didn't rely on their family's money. Instead, they made most of their wealth during their lifetime. Like old money, the term new money is also used to discuss the people who have this kind of wealth. For example, you might say, Steve Jobs was new money. He was born into a poor family and went on to create a super successful company. Interestingly, even though new money is often larger in amount, it's not as respected, and at times it's even looked down upon by those who came from old money backgrounds. Individuals belonging to old money circles could perceive new money as lacking the equivalent level of prestige, refinement, established customs, and core principles that accompany families with long-standing wealth over numerous generations. What's intriguing is that even if someone like Jeff Bezos has way more money than most old money heirs, that doesn't matter. The older, more established members of society might ironically see him as belonging to a lower social class. This is because they view him not as part of their elite circle, but simply as an individual with a lot of money. Now, where do you fall between these two? Or are you in the process of making your new money? As you think of it, hit that subscribe button and like the video to know exactly where you fall. Moving on, you may be wondering, how do old money and new money manage their finances? When it comes to how they spend money, old money and new money have different trends. Old money spending is based on traditions and routines. They have certain favorite places like hotels and brands they stick to. As a common idea, old money families are often seen as careful with their spending. This is because they've grown up thinking of their wealth as something the whole family shares. They want to make sure it continues for the next generation. However, this doesn't mean they don't spend a lot. They do buy expensive things like fancy houses, custom-made cars, valuable jewelry, and other luxurious items. What's important is that they consider these big purchases to be serious investments. They see spending money as a practical choice. On the other hand, new money generations haven't always had access to a lot of money. It's not surprising that they might spend their money on flashy cars, expensive designer clothes, and fancy trips. Sometimes famous people who have recently become rich can quickly waste their money. People like Nicolas Cage, Mike Tyson, and Dennis Rodman are examples of this. For new money individuals, spending money is often about enjoying the experience. But for old money, money is mostly seen as a tool to make good investments, even when buying something for themselves. The way old money and new money families use their houses is different too. Old money often holds fancy parties and gatherings at their homes. But new money families prefer to entertain their guests outside, maybe at a nice restaurant where they might get some attention. Social standing. Social status is another area where old money and new money differ. For old money, prestige isn't just about how many years they've been wealthy. It's also about having a history of influence, respect, and education in their families. Old money families are known for having accomplished and educated members. On the other hand, new money families often take pride in their stories, starting from nothing and becoming rich. They don't have the same long and prestigious family history, which can make their success seem even more impressive. Their achievement in fields like entertainment and business might bring them fame among middle and lower class people, but they might not get as much respect in old money circles. Now, did you know that 30% of the richest individuals have inherited their wealth? So it goes without saying that you're more likely to find yourself in the new money category, right? Interestingly, there isn't a specific number of generations or years that determine if wealth is considered old money. What matters more are the distinct characteristics associated with old money and the fact that the wealth wasn't acquired quickly. Is there tension between people with old money versus new money? Tension between old money and new money isn't constant, yet there are tendencies that can be seen as judgment between them. Both groups tend to assess each other based on their perceptions. For instance, old money might view new money as showy or lacking refinement. In contrast, new money could criticize old money for being snobbish and overly self-assured. It's important to remember, though, that these perceptions aren't absolute. After knowing all of this, which group would you rather belong to, the old money or the new money group? Or maybe you would prefer to just have enough for a pleasant life. Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.